Welcome to behind the wheel of the MG ZS, the all-electric crossover from MG. We're driving the ZS at Frank Keane MG, Ballymount, County Dublin. MG relaunched in Ireland last year under Chinese ownership. Their flagship vehicle is this model, the ZS, which aims to provide a spacious electric car for reasonable money. So let's get into the video and see if the ZS is any good. Also, if you haven't already, we'd really appreciate it if you could hit subscribe so you don't miss our latest videos with the new cars on the market. Also, let us know in the comments what car you want to see next. Kicking off the exterior, it has a familiar look to it in that it seems to take design cues from various popular SUVs on the market. That's no bad thing, it's a simple, honest design. Unlike some other modern electric cars, it doesn't shout EV when you look at it. So from that point of view, it's quite discreet and doesn't really stand out, but for most people, that will be music to their ears. You've got your LED daytime running lights at the front. Roof bars are standard on this model as it's the exclusive spec. All in all, it's not overly exciting to look at, but it's not a bad looking car. To the boot size, and it's quite decent with 470 litres, plus you get storage under the floor for your charging cables. The rear seats are a typical size for a mid-size crossover SUV. There's not as much room back here as the other MG, the larger HS, which is also on the channel, but however, the ZS still has adequate space back here for the family, and kids should be pretty happy back here. Even at 6'4", I could still sit behind my own driving position. What else is worth mentioning back here? Well, you get one USB port in the rear, there's a leather interior, and the panoramic sunroof brightens the cabin up. Let's head up to the front and take it out on the road. So you get a flat bottom steering wheel with all the controls and buttons you need. The driver's instrument display is a simple affair with two traditional dials for speed and power, along with the digital screen in the centre displaying your cruise control, range and all the driving details in quite a simple manner. The stalk for cruise control is almost hidden to the left behind the steering wheel. Maybe the controls could have been placed on the steering wheel, but once you get used to it being located in the more traditional spot that it is, it all works well. Interior plastics and quality seem pretty decent and appear to be on par with many of the modern crossovers out there. The touchscreen is a tad laggy, but most people will use the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay compatibility to pair up their phone. There is a feeling of simplicity in the cabin of the ZS. The physical dials and controls for the air conditioning are a refreshing touch, as often nowadays the aircon is controlled through the touchscreen, but thankfully that's not the case in the MG. In terms of steering feedback, there's probably a little more than you would expect from the ZS considering the type of car that it is. Okay, it's not going to be bought for its driving dynamics or driving ability, but it no doubt handles quite well. Put your foot to the floor when in sport mode and the tyres will squeal as they attempt to grip, and you will be pushed back in your seat. Speaking of driving modes, you get 3 modes: Eco, Normal and Sport. Each mode does exactly what you expect, and depending on your driving mood you can prioritise range and economy in Eco mode or performance and torque in Sport mode. You also have 3 levels of regen braking. The highest setting isn't quite strong enough for one pedal driving, but it does a nice job of recouping the energy back into the battery. Visibility is pretty good as well. There's loads of driving tech, from adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist, and these all come in handy specifically when on the motorway. The seats are comfortable to sit on, and I feel like I could sit here for a reasonably long journey in comfort. The ZS goes up against electric SUVs like the Hyundai Kona and Opel Mokka, but undercuts both in price. As we touched on earlier, the key aim of the ZS is to offer an electric SUV at an affordable price. In terms of technical specs, the ZS EV has a battery size of around 45 kilowatt hours. On average, you'll get about 260 kilometers from a full charge. As always, that depends on your driving style. 140 brake horsepower is produced by the motor, with around 350 Newton meters of torque. In Ireland, the ZS starts from around 28,995 including grants, and Frank Keane MG have told us that until the end of July 2021, MG Ireland are giving €750 off the price if you book a test drive on the MG Ireland website. So it's clear then that the ZS is mainly targeted at families looking for an electric SUV, but don't want to fork out 40 to 50 grand for one. Overall, the MG ZS is a pleasant car, and for the consumer, this is the kind of car we want on the market, offering a Qashqai size crossover in electric form below €30,000, along with the peace of mind of a 7-year warranty. Value is a key selling point of this car, and it is a lot of car for the money, and it's probably the best value electric car on the market right now. Would you agree? Let us know in the comments what you think of the MG ZS. MG's comeback is very much beginning on the front foot with the ZS. It will be interesting to see what models they add to their lineup in the coming years. As always, thanks for watching the video, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and until the next one, thanks very much for watching Deck of Cars.